Sometimes not. You gotta be careful that you get the one with food inside. Alright, so Mr. Courtwright's going to tell us a little bit about the canning process.
How many of you guys know what this is? How many of you guys ate this before? Yeah. You guys all like this, right? Okay. So you go to the grocery store, your parents go to the grocery store. Normally, when they go in the grocery store, they just pick it up off the shelf and they assume, because Chef ORD does go through a lot of checks and balances, okay? When they can a product like this, they got to make sure that they put the proper product inside it, okay? That it doesn't do something like this. What's wrong with this can?
Inflated.
Inflated? Okay, that's one way of looking at it. No, there's no holes in it. There's no air compressed in it. Inside out? Close. It's bloated, exactly. What causes a can to bloat like that? No.
What happens when your dad drinks milk?
Bacteria. Bacteria.
What do you get out?
How does bacteria affect the bloating of the can?
Okay, good question. How does it? Bacteria has to grow in something, okay? So if I took this can of Chef Boyardee, it's got tomatoes in it, it's got herbs in it, it's got pasta, it's got meat in it, right? Okay? Well, if I just take and mix this up out in the atmosphere, and I throw it in a can, close it up like one of these cans, and leave it set, this is what's going to happen.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because it has not been thermally processed. Okay? Thermally processed means you take that can after you put what are you going to put in it in the can, and we heat treat it. Okay? If you look around the corner, you'll see two different types of retorts. Okay? These are small retorts compared to factory size. Okay? This here is what they call a rotary retort. If you look inside there, you'll see there's cans inside. These cans lay like this, and as that reel in there spins, it turns. Okay?
Everybody come around here and vote real quick inside.
As that can is turning, okay, it's mixing the product inside. Okay? And if you look, there's two cans in there, it's got holes in the bottom. That hole in the bottom, you put a thermal cup in there, it measures the inside temperature. That inside temperature is very critical. Okay? In order to make this a shelf-stable product, they have to go through a process that determines where's the center point of this can. How hot did they treat that can to get that center point in there? How long did it take them to do that? Okay? Or if you look at this set of retorts over here on the side, you see a basket hanging out. Them cans are just dropped in, submerged, and they're heated, they're not moved, so we have to treat them a little bit differently. We have to apply a little bit more heat to them. There's no mixture to that. So all the heat has to be transferred in from the outside through the can to the center of the product. You do the same thing there. You put a thermocouple inside there, you check the temperature. Okay? But before we get to that point, we got to close the can, right? Okay, so if we got cans, you're going to see cans like this. This is what the cans look like. Oops, sorry. This is what a can looks like, nothing in it, right? So we're going to put a ravioli in. So we fill our ravioli in. If you look at the top of the can, you'll notice it's got a very sharp edge. Okay, if you look at this as a regular can lid, look inside here, you're going to see a little compound. That little compound's a rubber mixture, okay? That fits on top of this can lid like so. As it goes through this machine behind me, there's 3 sets of rollers in there, 2 sets of rollers, okay? These 2 sets of rollers go through. Them rollers actually take the edge of this can and it's going to roll it around, okay? Take your fingers, go like this with one hand, take your other hand, go like this, and we'll lock them together. Now pull on them. See how hard it does pull apart? Well, if you squeeze that real tight, now you've got a real tight, firm grip, and you create a seal here, okay? That is what they call hermetically sealed. Okay, that seal is taking this edge and rolling them together. So you get like that hook pattern on both the top, which will be the side of the can, and also the lid. When you squeeze that real tight, now you get a seal like this. This machine will do that. Okay, I'm going to run a couple cans and I'll show you exactly what it'll do and how it'll do it. It happens pretty quick. You won't be able to see it, but it'll give you an idea what it does. So, Kyle's offered me his keys. That's your keys. So, and we're going to do a magnetic test on this. And we're going to put these in here and we're going to do this. Alright? So what we're going to do, hold that 1 second. I'm going to put this on. So we just don't want you to stick your hand in here because it's going to make a little bit of okay? Normally, you turn the steam on, we're going to flush the top with it with steam, but just so you can see what's going on, we're not going to do that just yet. Okay? So we're going to start this up. Then you go back. Now I got a sealed can, okay? So that's Kyle how he's going to get home tonight now. So we got thing in there. So if you want to seal this can up, this ravioli can, we'll put your stuff in there, goes through a machine like that, sets a lid. Now, you notice there's a pull top on this can, right? Okay? See this pull top here? It's exactly the same. What's the difference between this lid and this lid?
One has a pull tab.
Okay? What happens when you pull this top, the tab off? You open up the can. If you look real closely, and this will be the same thing, look at the top of a soda bottle, you'll see the little mark in there. You look real closely, it's scribed. It's just scratched enough, but it's not clear through. Because if it goes clear through, what's going to happen? It's going to leak. What goes out is going to go inside, right? Exactly what happened here. Okay? Only this can I kind of fudged a little bit and added some stuff to do that. So what happens if you go to the grocery store and you find these cans of ravioli sitting side by side on the grocery store? Which one are you going to buy? Why is that? You know what mine? Flavor's real good?
Then you take it and then...
That would be a good idea to do, yes. Okay.
How do you get it arching down?
Yeah, we'll leave you to figure it out.
We need to review here. So one review.
Well, I was going to go through. The other thing you got to worry about is if you look at a can and you see rust on the can. Why is rust hazardous or a bad thing?
Because rust contains bacteria.
Rust contains bacteria. You don't know how far that rust has got through. Is it going to allow something through? One last thing. What happens if you see a can that's got that on it?
You going to eat that can?
You going to take that can? No? Why not? Is there anything wrong with that can? What's that? Okay, it has a dent. The problem with the dent is you don't know how bad the dent is. Did it cut the can? Did it bust the seam? Or anything like that? So you can't really trust this. Okay? Even though you see a lot of stores and stuff, they'll have the manager specials. They'll have the dented cans up for sale, half price or whatever. Be very leery about it. Okay? Even though it's a deal, you be careful.
What's the #1 rule on food safety? When in doubt, throw it out. All right. If you see anything dented, bulging, rusty, and you're not sure, it's better to be safe than it is sorry, because it's awful to be safe. Why are these cans safe again? Why are some of these cans safe? Let's say this one had food in it, and it's not dented or anything. Is this can safe?
If that can
It's got metal keys in it, it's not safe. What about this can? Is this can safe? Why is it safe to eat the food in this can? Okay, nothing's dented, moldy, rusty, bulging. There's no signs of leaks, so you don't smell anything bad. It's not hissing any gas or anything. What else? How do we know this is safe? How do we know? What do we know that people did to this to make it safe? Yep, they steamed it out, and then what did they do to it?
Heated it.
Heated it! At a low temperature, like 45 degrees, 54 degrees. Yeah, really high temperature under high pressure. That's why that door is so big and thick, because you're under high pressure too. High pressure, high heat. You get that can center, like you were saying, to a temperature that's safe. All the bacteria die, there's no problem, nothing can grow. So this food would be safe to eat, okay? So look for the signs, be aware of the signs. When you're in a food processing facility, what are you going to do? First two things you're going to do? Wash your hands. Hairnet. Going to scratch your head after you wash your hands. Wipe your hands on your pants. No. You would put on a beard net too. If any of you had a beard, which I don't think any of you are quite old enough for that yet, but if you did have a beard, you would wear a beard net. There's a beard net back there. All right, you all need